I don't know if you guys have seen the bracket yet, but there's already been so many upsets over the course of pools play, and we have an insane bracket lined up for you today. And first up is going to be the result of one of those upsets is going to be Mr. E versus E2C's Darkshad, the Ryu main who not only upset MVD in his pool, but took a set off of Larry Lure 3-2 yesterday.
Now, here's a question I have for you, right? Do you have faith in Darkshad over Mr. E?
I'm very curious to see how Mr. E plays the Ryu matchup. I'm not entirely sure how much experience he might have. He does play. He has played False quite a bit, right? So
yes.
I think that would help him out. But False hasn't been really relying on the Ryu too much lately, and I'm curious to see how Marth is going to combat Ryu, how Marth is going to stop things like focus attack on his landings, how Ryu is going to get in versus the disjointed hitboxes of Marth.
You know, Marth, I'm thinking of what moves Marth has that are multi-hit, and, you know, Nair comes to mind, right? It's definitely one of the tools that he can just immediately try to go for. He does have to short hop first to have access to it, but other than that, maybe heavy reliance on grab. It's going to be a really interesting one. Mr. E, I have to say, dude, every time I feel like he's down and out, he manages to get those really sick tippers when he would just, you know, in the nick of time, just when he needs it.
There are always those tippers that you just, when we're sitting here watching, we're just like, that killed at what percent? Just like if Ryu died at 50 off of the side from a tipper F smash or something, we would not be like too surprised. This might be a match where stocks fly like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be expecting that. I want to see how Darkshad is going to be able to get in. You know, focus is definitely one of the tools that we mentioned, since if you think about it, a lot of Marth's pokes are single hit, right? So that'll allow Darkshad to have an easier time landing on Mr. E, unless Mr. E has something in mind, you know.
And I'm not sure. I think these two might have played at Endgame. The Chicago tournament that was in August, and I couldn't tell you how that tilt ended up. Darkshad, oh, no, it wasn't that. It was Darkshad took a set off Tweak at that tournament.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what set up for Mr. E to go on a good run because he dodged Tweak in his bracket. So we will see here how this goes. We end up striking the Final Destination as our stage choice to start off game one.
And I have to say, one thing I love about Mr. E is his spacing, right? He's being really patient, but right there, as you notice, just one mistake and Ryu could just pile on the damage real quick, and we just saw him opt for the Nair already. So, yep, that's going to be his go-to tool to break focus.
But there we have Darkshad getting in off of a quick focus attack in the middle, and this percent has evened up. It's like we see, just percent is just going to rack up very quickly in this matchup. And there, Darkshad looking for the dare off stage on Mr. E.
Ooh. And there it is, Mr. E managing to force Darkshad off stage. Wow,
Whoa!
Sick tipper off of the back air.
That was an incredible kill setup there by Mr. E, turning what looked like a scary situation where he might have been ledge guarded into a reverse ledge guard. Excellent play so far coming out here from Mr. E.
You can just tell he's showing a lot of respect, but right there, manages to get a trade with that spike. Darkshad trying to keep it close right now to Mr. E. One stock apiece.
Ryu is one of those characters that you never want to trade with. If you trade with him, you're probably losing because his hits hit so hard, do so much damage, and you saw how insane knockback that dare has, sending Mr. E to the drink. But right now we are back in the neutral, and Mr. E is just trying to hold the center stage, just rack up percent slowly here onto Darkshad.
Yeah, his go-to tool, it looks like, when it comes to spacing is fair, right? He'll go for max distance fairs. Every time you see Darkshad jump in the skies, he'll immediately swat him out of the skies. Oh, there it is. Mr. E looks like he's in a good position, but Ryu can make comebacks.
That is Ryu's middle name, comeback. He can just sneak them out at any time, and we're at almost max rage here, but he does have to get into the neutral first to really bring it back. And there is that Nair you were talking about, trying to stop like a sneaky focus attack onto the stage.
Oh, absolutely. And right now, Mr. E, he has to play careful. Darkshad left himself open right there with the Hakunets and takes a tipper Nair, ending that game in Mr. E's favor.
Mr. E is short hopping a lot in the neutral here. We're seeing him, like you said, take to the skies to anti-air, and he found his way over that Hadoken to seal out of stock with a neutral air. And I think that's where Mr. E feels really comfortable, is just finding like space in the air to space, as you said, so expertly.
Oh yeah, indeed, indeed. I see a lot of fireballs coming out from Darkshad. He's trying to use it as a zoning tool, but it looks like Mr. E, he's always hopping with Marth. You know, And because of that, if he manages to react to one of the fireballs and jumps over, that's going to leave Darkshad open. And it cost him the first game, so he's going to have to keep that in mind. Here we go. A bigger, it's a little bigger. Well, I wouldn't say the stage is bigger exactly. I mean, the ceilings are pretty much the same as Final Destination.
Right. The base platform is a little bit smaller, a little less room for Mr. E to retreat with those fares, and that's going to help out Darkshad in the neutral a little bit here. But right now, he's just getting caught on these platforms left and right. Mr. E is just holding this stage and not relenting.
Oh, and there it is again. Mr. E taking the lead so well. Whoa. I'm guessing that was a miscue. He probably tried to opt for
maybe
Trump.
a ledge trump?
Yeah.
And okay, Mr. E is just trying to box out again. See that he's just using that very quick Dolphin Slash to set up for a fair off stage, cleaning up Darkshad, and this is another very great start for Mr. E.
And you know that that Dolphin Slash can actually help him out really well when it comes to getting out of combos, and you just saw it there.
It comes out so quick. It has intangibility on it. And there you go. He actually uses that along with a second hit to break out of focus attack. And if Mr. E can just throw out two aerials really quick. Oh, no!
This looks like Mr. E's game. Oh.
What? He was, you know what? He was worried about Wispy. Wispy was going to push him off the platform, and then he would have lost any punish at all. So he just threw out that shield break as fast as he could.
Okay, good observation right there. And now Mr. E still maintaining that space.
Darkshad now has the middle of the stage. He's got to do something with it, but Nair breaks him out of stage control, and Mr. E can just do so much with that. But there he actually finds a read on that combo-breaking Dolphin Slash and punishes the landing of it.
Oh, and Darkshad again in a tough position. Even if he's able to live all these hits, never mind that Nair actually takes away his stock. I was going to mention the threat of an up throw was 9.
That is just another dominant game there, ending with a JV2 stock for Mr. E. Going up 2-0, he is one game away from moving on in this winner's bracket, sending the Midwest hopeful Darkshad to losers.
Wow. And I have to say, dude, these matches have been going by so quick.
This is an explosive matchup. As it turns out, both characters able to rack up so much damage, but in the end, Mr. E right now is just spacing so well.
Oh yeah, and if you check out Mr. E's profile right there, it's perfect when it comes to his playstyle. The description, rush down, precise, and spacer. He does space really well, and he definitely loves to be in your face. And while he does that, he's always, when it comes to Marth, right, you always want to space your moves so well. You have to be really precise. So really good stuff right there.
Indeed. We are now on Town and City, another shorter ceiling stage, but whoa, is that going to send him down? No! Mr. E saves his jump very clutch.
Yeah, very smart. And plus, he wasn't at a high enough percent where the hit stun was going to last long enough.
Oh, and he's looking for another read on that neutral getup, but he's not going to catch him shielding. There's that tipper forward smash from the long side of the stage, though. Darkshad's going to live.
Oh, and it looked like Mr. E tried to basically take Darkshad all the way off stage. It looks like Darkshad has been having a really tough time shaving off Mr. E's stocks. Only that one time we saw in Dreamland he was able to get it because of a really bad Dolphin Slash.
Right. He's just having trouble finding that spacing for that up tilt and neutral, but that is an excellent trade. Once again, Ryu, not someone you want to be making trades with, and that's going to take a stock.
Definitely not. Woo! 2 hits and already 31% right there by Darkshad, and Mr. E almost, oh, there it is, set up again for a tipper on the ground and managed to get it with that F tilt after spacing in there.
The nice thing about that kill setup there from Mr. E is it was just so non-committal. He just threw out this aerial and then landed with a tipper forward tilt because he just spaced so eloquently, and it ended up being a stock. And it almost is an afterthought for Mr. E.
Uh-oh, but right now we might have a really bad situation. You don't want to have Ryu putting you in the corner. Mr. E, really good roll, manages to get him out of there, but I think Darkshad put him right back in there again.
Yeah, he's trying to hold the middle of the stage and then put him in the corner like Street Fighter. You can just get so much reset opportunity, and there's just the threat of being spiked. There's the threat of being Shoryuken. This is scary now for Mr. E in this game 3.
Oh, but smart right there. That Dolphin Slash actually allowed Mr. E to escape the threat of a follow-up after that there on the ground. But there's the Shoryu!
Darkshad getting on the board with that focus attack turnaround into Shoryuken. That is going to be game 3 going to the Midwest hopeful. He's got to win 2 in a row to stay in the winner bracket.
Dude, and check out his shirt. It actually has the inputs for Ryu's Hadoken.
the Midwest Ryus, they really hang out together. They really embrace the power of the dragon here, and they're trying to channel that energy into Darkshad's run, and he's going to see if he can use that to take 2 more games against the Tri-State Mr. E.
Oh, looks like Mr. E needs to watch out because that fair at 0, you already saw in game 1, right? He could connect it like 2 more times to get just about 40%.
Yeah, both these characters can just rack up so much damage. The thing is, Mr. E can just do it safely and at excellent range against Ryu. But if Ryu gets in once, that's where the explosion can occur.
Oh, indeed. And, Darkshad, he kind of has to take risks to get inside with Ryu. Whoa.
His jump is gone, but doesn't even matter. The edge guard coming out from Mr. E. Another excellent edge guard off the side of the stage. And he is now a stock away from moving on in the winner bracket.
Oh, man, that was such an aggressive edge guard. But that's what you need to do with Marth, right? Especially against a character like Ryu. If he were to stay back, that would allow Darkshad to come back in. Darkshad actually pulled him down with the first hit of up air. But Mystery expertly just up B's right out of there. He's like, no way. I'm going to use the invincibility just to get out of there.
But down tilt Shoryuken going to be enough. Regardless, this is an even game all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh, and here it is again. Sneaky grab from Mr. E. Tried to see if he can go low. I wonder if he was setting up for a potential dare.
That's very possible. Mr. E does like to sneak those out in this game. Marth's dare, not what it once was in Melee, but it's still a potent move. It can land that spike hitbox. Mr. E looks like he is kind of just retreated to more safe options in this neutral, and he's going to try to abuse this recovery, but Darkshad's getting in. This is scary.
Man, that spike. I wonder if that would have been it for Mr. E. Mr. E sitting up in his chair, recognizing that the threat of a KO is getting very close.
Oh, and this is a punish. We have a game 5, D1.
That is Ryu for you. What did we mention? The comeback kid right here. The comeback king, possibly?
The comeback king himself, Darkshad. This is going to be his second game 5 in a row in this bracket, going to game 5 against Larry Lur. Excellent adjustment so far from Darkshad, but it's going to be Mr. E's counterpick on game 5, and we might see something like Battlefield come out.
Battlefield, let's see. Mr. E.
No, sticking to Smashville here, sticking to his guns. That was his counterpick in game 4.
Okay.
I think he's confident he can win here, and you saw him just kind of throw out some more unsafe options there at the end of that game 4. Like he landed a dare on the stage, and he missed the punish on that, missed a forward smash. They were kind of uncharacteristic. In games 1 and 2, Mr. E was so safe.
And it looks like he's getting a little antsy, tossing out the Dolphin Slash so early. But, I mean, if you're at low percents, it's not as bad in comparison to going for it when you're at, oh my God!
Man, another jump saved.
Oh, right. Oof. Smart. Okay, there it is. Going back to the spacing game.
This is what he needs to do. He needs to be non-committal, and he needs to keep Darkshad out. And that's going to be his ticket to moving on. But that's a nice Nair 1 into forward smash, but good avoidance there and DI for Darkshad to make it back.
And smart shield breaker just to push Darkshad away from the edge, allowing him to get some stage presence. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
And it looks like he was trying his best to see if he can smash DI out. But
that might have helped Darkshad miss the sweet spot on that Shoryuken to save his life. So excellent play by Mr. E.
There you go, Mr. E. Looking for a tipper in the air. Oh, but
he didn't get enough charge on that focus attack to get the crumple stun. That would have sealed the stock.
It's looking very scary. Mr. E trying to see if he can just find a way to push Darkshad off stage. And every time he moves back, Darkshad gets more and more stage, making it harder for Mr. E to space him out.
Now Darkshad really looks like he has a feel on how to focus attack through Mr. E's spacing. It took him the first 2 games to figure that out, but now he's got it.
Oh, and right there, if I'm not mistaken, that hard up tilt has intangibility as well in the head.
That move is super scary.
Oh, yeah.
Nice down smash here. Mr. E is his turn to recover. Darkshad's got him cornered. Back air, gonna seal the stock. Darkshad now a stock away after being down 2-0 in what looked like a dominant 3-0 potentially from Mr. E.
Okay, there it is. Mr. E opting for the neutral air. That's what I was expecting to see.
He's got him in the corner. Darkshad gonna sneak out though. Mr. E showing a little bit of hesitation. Not spacing as confidently maybe as the first couple games.
Yeah. Waiting for his opportunity to strike. Okay, there it is. Manages to get an up air before Darkshad even goes for a focus. Tough spot. Look at Darkshad. He's just trying to control the space here.
And good grab by Mr. E. That's another way to play around that focus attack, is you can't armor through grabs.
Exactly.
So, excellent decision making here by Mr. E at the start of this final stock.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't quite sure if he was going to be able to actually get a punish after that roll through the fireball, but there's a lot of recovery.
This is scary now for Darkshad. He's got to find a way back on the stage, and that tipper going to maybe seal it? Not yet.
Yeah, but after seeing that focus, he had to respect. I think that's a punish!
Oh, he lost his ledge invincibility, and that's going to seal it. Another excellent final stock from Mr. E. And what was a close call, though, in a 3-2 set, but he will move on in winners.
Wow. What an exciting first game.
Man, that was fun.
Yeah. Going down to game 5. Mr. E versus Darkshad. After the first 2 games, I was really confident that Mr. E was probably going to get it in a 3-0 or 3-1 fashion. But then Darkshad just showed a lot of promise as the games
Indeed,
progressed.
he was that comeback kid, and it was almost enough there, but Mr. E on that final stock just making a big statement, saying, this is my set. And he took it away, and now he's moving on in the winner's side.
Absolutely. Man, you know, before